Concern about increasing incidents of extreme weather, the environment, and ecology have been a signature issue for Pope Francis during his papacy. Now, a surprise announcement this week from the Pope himself that he will be writing a second part of his landmark encyclical, Laudato Si, released in 2015. The document also has much to say about human dignity, ethics, and the connection between environmental and social issues. To discuss this week's announcement of an addition to the original Laudato Si, we're joined by Hannah Brockhaus, senior Rome correspondent for the Catholic News Agency. She joins us from our Vatican bureau. Hannah, great to see you. Do we know what Pope Francis is planning to focus on in this second part of Laudato Si?
Well, Montse, unfortunately, we don't yet have a lot of details about what the document will include or exactly when it will be released. We just know the Pope wants to focus on recent environmental crises. So we can kind of imagine what it might talk about. Of course, our minds go to the recent devastating fires in Hawaii, as well as in Canada, and in recent years in California. Of course, also earlier this year, Pope Francis visited South Sudan, and in that country, they have experienced a lot of problems with drought and that affecting crops, as well as flooding that has created increased illnesses, spread illnesses in the country. So there's a lot of displacement in that country due to environmental related causes.
Now, Laudato Si is much more than an encyclical. In your experience there at the Vatican, it's also an action platform within the Vatican under the Dicastery for the Promotion of Integral Human Development. Tell us more about what that does.
Yeah, Pope Francis established that dicastery 1 year after he released Laudato Si. And within that dicastery, there's a permanent commission for ecology. So that commission spearheads a lot of the Vatican's initiatives, which there are many, focused on the environment, on ecology, on care for creation. They collaborate as well with the Laudato Si movement in a week-long celebration of Laudato Si, which encourages, obviously, everyone doing their part to help the environment. And then Pope Francis also established in 2015 on September 1st the celebration of the World Day of Care for Creation. So a prayer for care for creation. So obviously an encouragement for Catholics to join with Orthodox Christians who also celebrate the same day to spend a special day focused on praying for our environment.
A nice moment of Christian unity. In addition to care for our common home or care for the environment, the original encyclical also addressed the dignity and defense of human life at the beginning and end of life. Might the Holy Father's advocacy for migrants be included in this next letter?
I think that that's a distinct possibility, especially given the Pope's sensitivity to how much of migration and the refugee crisis is linked back to environmental changes, which have caused people to seek, better lives in other places. It's obviously also really linked to human trafficking. The Pope mentioned that in Laudato Si, the problem of desperate people being taken advantage of. We see that right now, especially in Italy, because there are so many migrants who are being brought across in dangerous situations across the Mediterranean Sea. Many of them have lost their lives, unfortunately, trying to make that treacherous trip from Africa to arrive in Europe, to arrive in Italy. And Pope Francis himself very recently spoke out against that, and they take advantage of people in difficult circumstances. Human traffickers do, and then the fact that just so many people have died, and that's something that we need to pay attention to. And how can we help them so that people don't feel forced to seek a better life away from their homes?
Right, so they can stay where they are. Well, let's see if he repeats the release next spring. We'll be praying for that. Thanks so much, Hannah.